Hello friends, welcome to the class. I am NK Thukral from Edupedia World. Students, in the previous chapters, I have covered various forms of business organizations like sole proprietorship, partnership, Hindu undivided family, cooperative society and company. And also, I have covered the features of each business organizations, advantages, limitations, etc. So everybody must be aware the features of all business organizations. But now we must be aware that how one organization differs from the other. So today I will discuss first of all how each business organization differs from other. Let us take all the considerations one by one. Number one is formation. In case of sole proprietorship, it is very easy to form the business organization as minimum legal formalities are required in case of sole proprietorship. In case of partnership, also formation is easy as registration is optional. Since registration is optional, so it is very easy to form partnership as and when two or more partners decides. Next one is Hindu undivided family business. Here also very less legal formalities are required for registration, although registration is required but very less legal formalities. So it is easier to form HUF business. Next is cooperative society. Here it is mandatory to register cooperative society and it involves many legal formalities. So it is not that easy in comparison to others. Next is company. Here also it is compulsory required to be registered with lengthy and expensive process of formation. So in both cases, cooperative society and company, legal formalities are required to be complied before they start the business. So this is the formation. Next is consideration is members. In case of sole proprietorship, owner is the only member in this business. So here no other member is required. In case of partnership, minimum 2 are required and maximum 50 numbers are required, can be considered. So it differs from the sole proprietorship with respect to minimum or maximum number of members. In case of HUF, minimum 2 are required and maximum there is no limit. And further, in case of cooperative society, minimum members are required 10 and maximum no limit. So in case of company, in case of private company, minimum 2 are required and maximum only 200 can be members. And in case of public company, there is no limit in case of maximum number of members, but minimum 7 are required to form a company. That is in case of public limited company. Third consideration is capital contributions. In case of sole proprietorship, it is very limited finance is required. In case of partnership, also limited finance is required and 2 or more person can start a business. In case of HUF, limited to the amount of ancestral property. So whatever the ancestral property is there, with that HUF business can be started and carrying on. In case of cooperative society, limited contribution is required due to low return on capital. In case of company, very large financial resources are required either in case of private company or it is a public limited company. Next consideration is liability. In case of sole proprietorship, as you can see in the slide, liability is unlimited because single owner is there. He has the profits also, losses also, so unlimited liability also. In case of partnership, similarly, unlimited liabilities are there of all the partners. In case of HUF, Karta has unlimited liability, others have limited liability. So Karta is the main person who is having the unlimited liabilities. So in case of cooperative society, limited liabilities are required. In case of company also, limited liabilities are there for the shareholders. Next consideration is control and management. In case of sole proprietorship, owner has the full control, and in case of partnership, all the partners having control. In case of HUF, Karta is having the full control on the business. In case of cooperative society, there is a committee that is appointed by the shareholders. So management committee is there responsible to take decisions and they have the full control. In case of company, board of directors, BOD, means directors are appointed by the shareholders to take decision on all affairs of the company. So here how the one differs from the others in respect of control as well as management. Next consideration is continuity. Now what is continuity? Means the business is carried on. In case of sole proprietorship, stability is not there. As any time sole proprietor may become insane or may die or may not be well, he can close the business immediately. So stability is not at all there. In case of partnership, that is more stable in comparison to sole proprietorship business. In case of HUF, business is stability is there. In case of cooperative society, same stability of the business exists. And in case of company, much more stability is there as in comparison to other businesses. Next consideration is motive. Motive of sole proprietorship is profit. Similarly, partnership is a profit, and in case of HUF, same motive is profit. Only in case of cooperative society, it differs from the others as the objective is to render services to the members. And in case of company, return on capital. Dividends are required to be distributed to shareholders regularly, and company also required return on capital invested. So friends, these are the considerations how one business organization differs from the other. Now students, once we have covered how one business organization differs from others, let us see what business organization can be started by a person who wants to start the business. Means how he can choose a particular business organization if he want to invest money and for the profit also. The selection of a suitable form of ownership organization is an important decision for a person because it influences the success and growth of a business. That is, it determines the decision of profits, the risk associated with business, and so on. As discussed earlier, the different forms of private ownership organization differ from each other in respect of division of profit, control, formalities, risk, etc. Therefore, a thoughtful consideration should be given to the problem, and only that form of ownership should be chosen which is more beneficial to a person. Since the need for the selection of ownership organization arises both initially while starting a business and at a later stage for meeting the needs of growth and expansion. So these two are very important factors before starting the business, and he has to see that in future when the expansion is required, whether he will be able to cope up or not. So it is desirable to discuss the question at both these levels. For a new or proposed business, the selection of a suitable form of ownership organization is generally governed by the following factors. So let us decide factors one by one. Number one consideration is nature of business activity. This is an important factor having a direct bearing on the choice of a form of ownership. In small trading businesses, professionals and personal service traders, sole proprietorship is predominant. Examples are beauty parlors, repair shops, consulting agencies, small retail stores, medicines, dentists, etc. etc. The partnership is suitable in all those cases where sole proprietorship is suitable, provided the business is to be carried on slightly bigger scale. Besides, partnership is also advantageous in case of manufacturing activities on a modest scale. Service enterprises like hotels, lodging places, trading enterprises such as wholesale trade, large-scale retail houses, manufacturing enterprises such as small drug manufacturers, etc. can be undertaken in the form of partnership. Manufacturing contains the highest percentage of companies among all industries. Similarly, large chain stores, multiple shops, super bazaars, engineering company are in the form of companies. Second factor is scale of operations. The scale of business operations depends upon the size of the market area served, which in turn depends upon the size of demand for goods and services. If the market area is small, local sole proprietorship or partnership is opted. If the demand originates from a large area, partnership or company may be adopted. So, scale of operation is another factor which is to be given due consideration according to the area. Next is capital requirements. Capital is one of the most critical factor affecting the choice of a particular form of ownership organization. Requirement of capital is closely related to the type of business and scale of operations. Enterprises requiring heavy investments like iron and steel plants, medicine plants, etc. should be organized as a joint stock company. Enterprises requiring small investments, for example, personal service enterprises, retail businesses, can be best organized as a sole proprietorship. Apart from the initial capital required to start a business, the future capital requirement to meet modernization, expansion, and diversification plans also affect the choice of form of ownership organizations. In sole proprietorship, the owner may raise additional capital by borrowing, by purchasing on credit, and by investing additional amount himself. Banks and suppliers, however, will look closely at the proprietor's individual financial resources before sanctioning loans or advances. And in case of partnership, they can often raise funds with greater ease than in comparison to the sole proprietorship business. Since the resources and credit of all partners are combined in a single enterprise, companies are usually best able to attract capital because investors are assured that their liability will be limited. So, capital requirement is another factor which is given to due consideration. Next is degree of control. Now, what is this? The degree of control. The degree of control and management that a businessman desires to have over business affects the choice of ownership organization. In case of sole proprietorship, ownership, management, and control are completely fused, and therefore the businessman has complete control over business. Whereas in case of partnership, management and control of business is jointly shared by partners. They have equal choice in the management of partnership business except to the extent that they agree to divide among themselves the business responsibilities. Thus, a person wishing to have complete and direct control of business prefer proprietary organization rather than partnership or company. If he is prepared to share it with others, he will choose partnership. But if he is not just bothered about it, he will go to it for the company. Next is management ability. Management ability depends. In case of sole proprietorship, less management skills are there. So, in a small business, retail business, he can start with the sole proprietorship where less skills are required, and in case of more skills are required, more resources are required, the businessman can think to form a company. And again, in case of partnership, the management ability is divided. Either two or more than two persons are there in partnership business. So, management ability is not that much required as in case of company. So, management ability is another factor which is given to be due consideration. Degree of risk and ability. The size of risk and willingness of owners to bear it is an important consideration in selection of legal form of ownership organization. The amount of risk involved in a business depends, among others, on the nature and size of business. I am repeating that, on the nature and size of business. Smaller the size of business, smaller the amount of risk. Similarly, thus a sole proprietary business carries small amount of risk with it as compared to partnership or company. However, the sole proprietor is personally liable for all the debts of the business to the extent of entire property. Likewise, in partnership, partners are individually and jointly responsible for the liabilities of the partnership firm. And in case of company, have a real advantage as far as risk goes over other form of ownership. Creditors can force payment on their claims only to the limit of company's assets. Thus, while a shareholder may lose the entire money he put into the company, he cannot be forced to contribute additional funds out of his own pocket to satisfy business debts. So these are the points to be considered if one wants to start a business. Next is stability, or you can say continuity. Stability of a business is yet another factor that governs the choice of ownership organization. A stable business is preferred by the owner in as so far as it helps in attracting suppliers of capital who look for safety of investment and regular return, and also helps in getting competent workers and managers who look for security of service and opportunity of advancement. From this point of view, sole proprietorships are not stable. Mind it, sole proprietorships are not stable, although no time limit is placed on them by law. As you know, the illness of owner may derange the business and his death cause the damage of business. Partnerships are also unstable since they are terminated by the death, insolvency, or withdrawal of one of the partners. However, in case of companies, they have the most permanent legal structure. The life of the company is not dependent upon the life of this member. Members may come, members may go, but the company continues. Now come to the next point, division of profits. Profit is the guiding force of private business, and it has a tremendous influence on the selection of a particular choice of ownership organization. A businessman desiring to pocket all the profits of business will naturally prefer sole proprietorship. Of course, in case of sole proprietorship, the personal liability is also unlimited. So you have to see that. Whereas on the one hand, whole profits are there, on the other hand, liability is also unlimited. But if he is willing to share the profit, partnership is the best. So sharing a profit is required wherever, or if he thinks it can be better and skills are much more there in partnership, although profits are shared, but partnership is the best in that case. In case of company organization, however, the profits are distributed among shareholders in proportion to their shareholding, but the liability is also limited. So, all these factors need to be considered before choosing a particular organization. Next is cost, procedures, and government regulations. This is also an important factor that should be taken into account while choosing a particular form of organization. Different forms of organization involves different procedures for establishment and are governed by the different laws which affect the immediate and long-term functioning of a business enterprise. From this point of view, sole proprietorship are the easiest and cheapest to get started. There is no government regulation. Partnership are also quite simple initiated. However, it can be created by law. In case of company, in case of company, dissolved by law and operate under the complicated provisions of law. In the formation of a company, a large number of legal formalities to be gone through, which entails at times quite a substantial amount of expenditure. For example, the cost incurred on drafting of the memorandum of association, the article of association, the prospectus is quite high. So this cost is however small in case of private companies. Besides, companies are subjected to a large number of anti-monopoly and other economic laws so that they do not hamper the public interest. So the consideration of these various factors listed above clearly shows all these things needs to be considered. So friends, we have discussed number of factors to be taken into consideration before choosing a business. The various factors listed above are only major factors, and in no case they constitute an exhaustive list. Depending upon the requirements of the business and the demands of the situation, and sometimes even the personal preference of the owner, the choice of a form of ownership is made. So that's all in this class, students. Thank you. Bye-bye.